Welcome back, everyone in YouTube land. This is your tinfoil hat economist coming back to you at the speed of light with episode number 13. We must destroy the economy to save it. Well, let me take my mask off. These are grim days, and I regret to say that the lockdown policies adopted through Europe and the United States, North America, don't seem to have an exit strategy. They strike me as an economic and public health policy dead end. And the reason I say that is because we have a novel cold virus called COVID-19 and a naive population. That is, very few of us have ever been exposed to this virus before. You get very high infection rates. They say up to 60 or ultimately 70% of the population will become infected. And of that number, a very small number become ill and die. Very sad, extremely sad. The numbers you have seen, about 2 or 3% death rate, are probably wildly inflated because they are of people that show up in hospitals and so forth. The true death rate, happily so, seems to exclude almost all children, almost all young adults, anybody under 30, and is of serious concern to people that are older. Now, as an economic policy, though, the lockdowns are a disaster, a catastrophe. I don't know what policymakers are thinking, except that they tend to live in a bubble world in a national capital in Europe. They're well set for a few months. They don't make a living out in the economy and living paycheck to paycheck with maybe a couple months saved up. I don't know who's going to be able to pay the rent or make the house mortgage if they don't work. Very few people I know. And once those payments are made, the commercial banking system, which borrows short to lend long and leverages up, is going to need a lot of bailout. Airlines are already being bailed out. And this is going to spread from industry to industry to industry as bills are not paid. This, to repeat myself, this strikes me as destroying the economy under the pretense of saving the economy. Some people posit if we don't halt the virus, it will have deeper and more lasting, long-lasting economic ramifications. That does not seem to be a true statement, because most of the people, very sadly again, I'm as human as the next person, the people being removed are not in the labor force. People being removed, people who are dying from this virus are not in the labor force. There was a study from the American Economics Association posited certain costs to the economy based upon 1.8 million deaths, seems like a rather high estimate, and based on that each one of those deaths was totally attributable to the COVID-19 virus. Most people who die have what are called comorbidities. This is a morbid topic, but they have cancer, diabetes, they're elderly and sometimes obese, and yes, they expire. You can attribute that death to COVID-19, or you could attribute it to multiple comorbidities, which it actually is in some places. That's actually the way it's recorded. So, looking forward, I'll again show this chart, and you can see the kinds of bear markets we've had in previous economic recessions and downturns and market corrections that sure seem rather tame. I mean, the oil shock was pretty serious back in '73, nothing like today. And that was '73, '74. 2002, down 49%. That was a dot-com boom. That was like a cakewalk in the park compared to what we're going to go through. And even the 2007-9 financial collapse, down 56%, you know, that was totally a kind of a fictional recession. There was no, it wasn't as if the manufacturing capacity of the world was bombed or we We had crop busts. That was all clicks, debt, and little blips on computer chips that had to be corrected. It was an invisible cause of a financial calamity that our leadership globally did not know how to respond to. Now this, what we face today, the COVID-19 pandemic, has elements of a real tragedy. People really are dying, unlike in 2007, 2009, the global financial crisis, except if they committed suicide and so forth. But people are really dying. I'm not underplaying that. So there is some cost to the economy. If handled correctly, it can be a small cost. We are not handling it correctly. We are committing economic suicide in an attempt to save the economy. So I'm looking for more bear market action in the weeks and months ahead. I hope I'm wrong. I hope somehow these lockdowns end and people go back to normal. I don't know what's going to happen to the restaurant industry, hotels, travel industry, conventions. I mean, people are in a panic over this. Those recoveries could take years. We will explore this at further length in future videos, and I look forward to seeing all of you again. So this is your tinfoil hat economist signing off at the speed of light. Looking forward to seeing all of you again in episode number 14.